This is Film Masters. On this episode, we are creating what I'm calling the little box of horrors. It's a little plywood box that uses pickup microphones, and we'll be also creating some percussion mallets which are used to drag across the box and make the howling sounds. Now the sounds obviously that you heard at the very beginning of this tutorial were made with this box. You don't have to buy a box. You can create one if you want. Just make sure that the plywood that you're using is no thicker than 5mm. Otherwise, just follow the instructions for this tutorial. Now, down below in the description area of this video, we've got two printable ink transfers that you can download and print them out. I'll show you how to print them out so you can apply the transfer onto your wooden box to give it a little bit of, I guess, a uniqueness. If not, feel free to use a pencil or a pen and decorate it yourself. One thing I suggest is don't put any lacquer on it. Keep it raw, keep the wood raw, so that way you can get some nice sounds out of the wooden box. So, without any more ado, let's get straight into this tutorial on making the little box of horrors. So we're going to be building this little box of horrors. Now, the box I'm using, which I purchased from an art store, is a Halloween coffin. It's made of plywood. It only cost me $5, so I'm pretty happy with that. You can look around, obviously, and find other ones from art stores, or you can make one yourself, but we're going to use a purchase one. We're also going to be making a rubber percussion mallet using bouncy balls, some drills, and some wooden dowel. Now, as you can see, the drill needs to be the same thickness as the wooden dowel, and we'll also need super glue. So one thing we'll be doing with the bouncy balls is drilling only halfway along the actual ball, dead center. So here we go. So as you can see, be careful as you're doing it. I'm drilling it through the rubber, and as you can see, it's only going halfway into the bouncy ball. So it's pretty easy. Now, what's interesting is these actual percussion instruments on eBay seem to go for $20. Thing is, you can make them yourself. So I'm just testing the wooden dowel here, and as you can see, it's a perfect fit. So to secure it, I'll be using super glue. And obviously, super glue you can buy fairly cheap. So we're going to put a few drops in there, maybe 3 tops. Obviously, I'm having a little bit of trouble putting the lid on super glue, but I'm not going to worry about it. So we're going to stick the wooden dowel in and just give it a little bit of a twist, and that's it. Now, one thing you need to do is take the shine off the bouncy ball, and as you can see, I'm using a wet and dry fine sandpaper, and it's just a matter of buffing it. You're not trying to sand and make a surface flat. All you're doing is taking that shine off it, and this allows the percussion mallets to, when you drag them, make this sound. Now that vibration is what makes that howling sound, so we'll be using these. I'm going to be making 2 of them, so I suggest you make 2, and as you can see, here's my second one. And to make your second one, it's just a matter of following the first steps for the other one. Now, we're going to be playing around with a contact microphone, also known as a piezo mic. Now these pickup mics only cost around about $5. It's self-adhesive, so it can bind to whatever you want to stick it to. It also has a volume control knob on this one, and it also comes with a little knob that you can stick on top of it. Here it is here, so it looks nice when it's finished. It just simply slips on there and allows you to turn it. It also has a 1/4 mic jack. So to install, it's just a matter of making sure the drill is the same thickness as the volume. I'm going to put the volume at the bottom. So I'm just going to drill straight into the bottom of the box. Again, if you're designing your own little horror box, you can put these anywhere you want. So it's just a matter of drilling and placing it. So what we need to do is make sure that it is the right length. And obviously that is one thing you need to be mindful of when you're putting this in. Once the volume knob has been inserted, we put a washer on and then screw a nut on top, which will lock it into place. I'm going to use a wrench in order to secure it. You can use pliers as another method. And obviously we tighten it clockwise, and obviously to untighten it's anti-clockwise. Now if you do get a pickup mic, you don't have to get one with a volume control on it. I'm just simply done it because I want that extra feature. So to put the knob on, I've made it so it goes complete left, anti-clockwise, and I'm going to put the knob on so it is facing the far left, and therefore when I turn it like so, I can turn it up to the right. Now you can put your own markings on there if you want to, low and high for example. I'm not going to do that. Next thing we're going to do is just make sure that the 1/4 inch size socket, we're going to put that at the top. As you can see, using a drill that is the same thickness, like I was showing you when we were making the rubber percussion mallets. I'm going to make a drill to the right of the box. Now again, if you're making your own one with a different box, you may be using a square one. Obviously, you can put it wherever you feel comfortable in putting it. I'm just going to clean up the edges, and now it's just a matter of inserting that 1/4 socket. So I'm going to take the nut off it, and I'm just going to push it through the lid, and that will allow me to obviously then close the lid while still holding the back of the 1/4 socket and put the nut on it. Now I won't put a washer on this one, just the nut is fine, and I'll use a wrench in order to tighten it up. So this is obviously the basic build of making this horror sound box. You can put your own springs on it if you want to. You can even glue sandpaper and drag a rock over it to give it sort of a different type of vibration. But we're going to be making just the basics of building the box. So as you can see, we now have our volume control installed, and our 1/4 jack is also installed. So all we need to do now is adhere the pickup mic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it on the inside of the lid, so that it can pick up the vibrations. Now test it if you want to. You can move it in different locations. Just be mindful once you take that adhesive sticker off like I have and you've stuck it on there, it's harder to remove. And I will use some electrical tape in this situation just to make sure that it doesn't fall off or move around, and also assist in making sure that we're not getting extra vibrations because it's not adhered properly to. So it's sort of going to dampen our pickup microphone. So the sounds that you're going to be hearing now using the rubber percussion mallet dragged over the box surfaces is without even being connected to a PC or a amplifier. So there's different ways to play it. Obviously, you can drum on it, you can rub your nails on it, and you can also make those howling sounds. Now we're going to decorate it. I'm using a type of paper. The paper is made by Avery. However, it is simply just a self-adhesive sticker, A4 size, and I've taken that off, and what I want to do is use the waxed film side. So when I print off a design like this one, I'm able to stick it on the box. Now in the below in the description of this video, we do have this skulls, which I've put together, as well as the cool skull with the headphones, so that you can print that off and stick it to the wooden box by simply sort of like a transfer. And I'll show you how I'm doing that. Now if you can't find any of the A4 transferable paper with the stickers on it, you can obviously draw on it. Now what I'm doing is simply holding it down now that I've printed out the image I want, using the back of a spoon to push the ink into the wood so that it can transfer that image across. Now there's different ways of doing it. Obviously it's just about applying pressure, but I'm using a spoon to get the best results. So I'm going to put the skull with the earphones on the top of my lid like so. And this is the detail that you get from it, so it's quite nice. I like it. One thing you don't want to do is stain the wood or put any clear coats on top, because what will happen is the rubber percussion mallet won't vibrate properly. And as you can see with the other downloadable design, you can also do the side of the box, and that's just a group of skulls. Again, you don't have to use these. You can make your own design. If you do make one of these, please do send a photo and share it with me. You can email me, or obviously you can jump onto my Twitter page or even on Facebook. Now that is how we make the little box of horrors. You can obviously use it for sound effects. I'm going to be showing you in another tutorial coming up straight after this one, how you can grab those sounds, put them into your computer, and using Adobe's Audition, we're going to be applying some ambience to it to give it that nice creepy sound. Now, if you make one of these, do send a photo in. I'm going to put my email down below in the description of this video so you can send them to me. I will share them on my Facebook and or on Twitter. Now, if you want to become a Filmmaster subby, it's pretty simple. You can subscribe to the channel, you can like us on Facebook and on Twitter. And until next time, don't just film it, master it.